Hello and welcome to our show. This is our England v USA match preview. If you're new to our channel, subscribe, drop this video a like, and get involved in the comment section down below. So the World Cup I'm absolutely loving it at the minute, to be fair. I'm loving it. I'm loving the games. 4 games a day. Absolutely fantastic. There's been some really, really good games. And it just feels like it's starting to motor and starting to tick over. So we haven't seen Ryan for a few days. So how are you, mate?
I am very well, thank you, mate. Like you, I've got World Cup fever. Look, whatever's surrounding the World Cup, what is happening on the pitch at the minute is excellent, isn't it? If you put everything else to one side, the football, the drama, the shocks, the big score lines, the class players, it's all bubbling up nicely for what could be a fantastic World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. And there's been some really good games since England played as well. We've had Argentina 1, Saudi Arabia 2, which was it's a class game. Absolutely loved watching that. We've had France 4, Australia 1. That was a really good game. We did our watch along, and when Australia scored, it just made for a really good game. Today we've had Germany 1, Japan 2, and then we've also had Spain 7, Costa Rica 0, and it really sets up some of the next round of games in the group stage. We've got Spain v Germany, which that's going to be class now. That is, because Germany have to win; they have to get something from the game. You've then got Argentina v Mexico. Argentina have got to get something from that. So how the stories are starting to unfold. We've now got Saudi Arabia, who've got 3 points, who would fancy their chances to get out that group now. You've got Japan, who have done really well. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next few games.
I bet the bookies have done really well as well, because them Argentina and
they've done well out of me.
And the Germany one must have been like an accumulator killer, isn't it? Big time. So, they'll be calling it, they will.
I mean, the betting odds, as it currently stands, we've got Brazil, who haven't played yet, are still the favourites. We've got France, second favourite, Spain, third, England, fourth, and Argentina, fifth favourites. Do you know what? I don't think they might not get out the group, you know. I think they're up against it now. Because I just fancy Mexico to get something from that game. And then, they've got to go and get something against Poland then. So it's going to be really, really difficult. But yeah, Justin, who have you enjoyed watching so far? Who would you say stand out now? Who have you looked at and thought they look decent?
I think we look decent. The obvious ones, really. I think we obviously watched the France game last night, and first 20 minutes was a bit dodgy. But once they got in their stride, they look very, very good. And with the front sort of 4 they've got, they're going to be a real danger to everyone. Spain today, absolutely ruthless today. I think not looking too deep, a bit like us, really, not looking massively deeply into the result and the scoreline, because I think Iran aren't that good, and I think Costa Rica are probably the poorest team in the tournament. But having said that, looking at some of the results we've had already, with Argentina losing, Japan obviously beating Germany. I'm not saying Japan are in that category like Costa Rica. Japan are a very accomplished side. But yes, winning any game 7-0 takes some going, and doing it in a World Cup finals in the opening game. So nobody's really talking about Spain either, are they? If you listen to everybody pre-tournament, it was Brazil, it was Argentina, it was who were the dark horses. Belgium spoken about quite a lot. France, obviously. Nobody's spoken about Spain. So I think they're a bit of a sort of emerging team, aren't they? A lot of young players. So they impressed me today. I thought the Germans were terrible. It's fantastic that the tables have turned now, that we are now going into tournaments feeling confident that we can go deep into tournaments, and that they're now struggling to get out of groups now every World Cup. So it's fantastic. I'm chuffed about that.
Yeah, and this is what the World Cup's all about, isn't it? You stick on a game, and you think, okay, they're going to win, and then there's a shock, and it's just fantastic. I mean, Belgium are currently beating Canada 1-0, but Canada, they look quality, man.
They do.
They're absolutely. And I'm not having Belgium. I'm not having it. I think that this golden generation, they're done for me. I'm really not having them. Not buying into
And Canada have missed a penalty as well, haven't they?
Yeah. So
I tell you what.
Everyone that's watching, make sure you hit a like. It'll help push this video out onto YouTube as well. Justin, what was you going to say?
Belgium have got a lot of the look of Argentina to me. They've got a lot of very good individual players. And if you look at the team sheet, you think, look at them, they're a very good side. But they don't seem to gel at major tournaments, do they? For the players they've had, they've underperformed for me. And I don't rate Martinez, to be honest, the manager.
It's a bit like our golden generation, wasn't it? Yeah.
They just
Gerrards,
haven't got the
your
best out of them, have
Lampards,
they?
your Scholes, your Shearers, all them lot, your Campbells at the back. Just didn't happen for us, did it?
No. They're just missing. Canada are just missing that cutting edge up front, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Right then, so England v USA. USA drew 1-1 with Wales, which kind of keeps both of them really in it now, doesn't it? You know, every game that England potentially will play will have something riding on it, whereas a win for either one of those two would have really set the other one and put them in big trouble. But England's record against USA, England have 8 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses against the USA. In the last 5 meetings against USA, it's pretty dominant from England. 1994, 2-0 England. 05, 2-1 England. 08, 2-0 England. 2010 World Cup, it was 1-1. And that's when, was it Rob Green at that? Was it Rob Green?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Threw it in the goal, then.
Yeah, that was a shocker, wasn't it? And then
Gerrard scored, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
2018, England won 3-0. So did any of you watch USA?
I caught the second half when apparently, USA had been on top, hadn't they? And the substitution of Kiefer Moore just changed the game, didn't it, for Wales? I thought he really rattled their back line. So I'm hoping that Harry Kane can do the same. It seems to be the tournament. You seem to need a target man, don't you, in international football? And we've got one of the best in the world in Harry Kane. But do like him, USA. I think they've got a good midfield trio, haven't they? Is it Musa? He was carrying the ball very well. Obviously, we know Tyler Adams from Leeds. He breaks up the play. I've seen his heat map. He's just all over the place. And then they've got who's the one that we was linked with? McKennie.
Westham. Yeah.
He was just box to box. So they feel strong. Their fullbacks like to advance as well. So and the kid Wire took his goal very, very well. So they have got a bit about them. We are in for a game against them.
So I did watch the full game, and I thought first off they were okay. And really should have put Wales to bed. Wales were pretty poor in that first half. And I think he sort of admitted after he got his tactics totally wrong. He went to try and put pace on him, and it just didn't work at all. But as soon as he stuck that big man up front and started sort of being a bit more direct, the Americans couldn't cope with it. And I think we can play both ways, can't we? I think we've got pace, but we can go direct into our front man. Because like you say, Ryan, he holds the ball really well, doesn't he, Kane? So I think, to be honest, we cover all bases. And as long as Southgate's as brave, and I think that's the word I want for this whole tournament for me, he needs to be brave and carry on what he did in that first game. I don't see anything other than an England win, and a comfortable England win, to be honest. It would be a massive shock. I think we'd have to play really badly to lose that game.
Yeah, I really like Tyler Adams from Leeds as well, and this was their starting lineup. The average positions for USA was here, so pretty compact, pretty organised. 2 focal points, sort of leading the line as well. So that was their average positions. But moving on to England's average positions from the game against Iran, very, very dominant. As you can see, the double pivot here of Rice sort of holding. Bellingham number 22. It was a brilliant blockbuster performance from England, wasn't it? And it's a performance that I didn't really see coming. We haven't heard your thoughts, Ryan. So what pleased you in the performance against Iran?
Yeah, because I was quite vocal in saying that I was expecting a tough game. I would have been happy with 1-2-0 before the game. So to see us come out like that and just explode onto the World Cup scene was sensational to see. I think Iran showed a lot of bravery by not singing their national anthem with everything that's going on. So whether they was in the right frame of mind for football, I don't know. The repercussions of doing that might have been playing on their mind. I'm still maintaining they're a good side. Obviously, they did score a couple of goals with us, although the penalty was a bit debatable. But nah, I think Gareth Southgate got it bang on the 4-2-3-1. And looking at them average positions, Rice was sitting a bit deeper, so it sort of like went to a 4-1-4-1. Saka was coming deep to get the ball. I was impressed with Saka, mightily impressed with Saka. And obviously Kieran Trippier solid behind him, offered him that protection. But the boy, Bellingham, I thought, oh my God, awesome. Absolutely awesome. And he's got the potential now to set this World Cup alight and make himself a superstar. Just seeing him on the World Cup stage, his presence, his leadership. He's 19 years old and he was acting like a leader on that pitch. And the fact that he was only 14 years old at the last World Cup is incredible, absolutely incredible, his rise. Also thought that Maguire done okay. He's had his critics. I thought going into the game, a lot of pressure on him, isn't there? There's a lot of pressure. He would have put a lot of pressure on himself to perform more so than anybody else. And I thought his aerial threat was very good. I had a 5 on him for first goal. So when he smashed that crossbar, I was like, come on. But he does worry me a bit, that left-hand side. Shaw and Maguire, that's where their goal came from. Lacking a bit of pace there. The defence still got to work on and hope that will evolve. But as for a start in a World Cup, it was explosive. And like Justin says, it's all about now how big is Gareth Southgate's balls. You know, when it comes to having the balls to go and attack a Germany or go and attack a France or Spain, is he going to back us? Because I feel defensively, why not? We're okay, but attacking wise, seeing that front line and seeing what come off the bench as well and got goals.
I mean, me and Justin, we watched France on the watch along, and you know that once they went a goal down, they started to play, didn't they? And Mbappe and all this, they were really, really good, but they didn't really have much attacking talent coming on that pitch, did they? But then when we're bringing on Grealish, Foden, it's just got
Rashford.
I think it's got to be like Kevin Keegan vibes, where you've got to have the mentality that we've got to score one more than you. We're going to outscore you. And I think with the talent we've got in the squad, we're capable of it. So, hopefully he just maintains this front foot vibe that we've got going on.
We've had a comment from Terry, who was at the Content Awards with us last week as well. Thank you for watching, mate. It was great to meet you. So team-wise, what are we going for then? What do you reckon he's going to go with, Justin? Is it same team as against Iran, or are we going to see something a little bit different?
I think he'll stick with that as starting 11 because he did use, which I'm pleased about, he utilised the substitutes very well. I see us winning all 3 games, to be honest, and I see Iran losing all 3 games. So I think we'll finish on 9, they'll finish on 0. And with that draw, America, Wales, it's going to be very interesting to see how they attack playing us, both of them, because it's going to come down to goal difference for me. I think they will both beat Iran. So I see them both finishing on 4 points. So it's going to be how many goals they concede against us and how many they can get against Iran that potentially could see them go through. So are they going to just sit tight against us and almost concede not to win the game, if you know what I mean? If they get a draw from England, then that potentially could be a point that would see them through. So it's going to be very interesting. But I see us going a dent. I mean, the only player that didn't impress me massively in the last game was Mason Mount.
I agree.
I thought he was okay. I thought Saka was the best of our attacking options. I wasn't massively impressed with Raheem Sterling, but he did score and get an assist, so I think that's enough for him to stay in the team. Harry Kane picks himself. Bellingham and Rice were outstanding. Back four seems to be his preferred back four. I'm still worried about Harry Maguire. But you don't really change a team that's just won 6-2, do you? Unless you've got an injury. So that, for me, is going to be the starting 11, and then utilise the players off the bench, to 5 players off the bench, as and when.
Wales kick off before, don't they? Are they like
They're
the
in the
early
morning,
game,
yeah.
the 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
So I wonder what effect that result will have on USA's mentality now. If
I think they've got to go for goals, haven't they?
Who? Wales?
I think both of them are going to go for goals against Iran. I really think that.
Yeah.
Both got to be very positive in them games, because I do think it'll come down to goal difference. So you'd hate to go out by 1 goal difference, wouldn't you?
So you think USA was set up for a draw? Just to
I don't know.
Frustrate us, block us off, and
they obviously would love to. Yeah, they'd love to win the game, obviously. But I think pragmatically, I think that they won't come for us. They won't come to try and win the game. They'll just come to hold us. And if they can nick something, on the break or from a set piece or something, they'll take that. But they'll be worried, a bit like whoever's playing. Well, I think Germany plays Spain next. When you see a team rip a team apart and score lots of goals, you're going to be a bit worried, aren't you? And we got threats all over the pitch, haven't we? So, it's going to be tough for them.
Do we think he will risk Kane if he's had this little knock? Do you think he maybe change it, put Wilson up top for this one?
No, I don't. Unless it's a really dodgy injury and he's got to rest him for that reason. But apparently he's trained today. I think they've had a scan, so that the scan must have been okay. I think you play Kane, you get ahead in the game, 1 or 2, then you bring him off and rest him, maybe a bit earlier than he did against Iran. And then if we win the game comfortably, then that's more or less us, through. So you could always rest him in the 3rd game, couldn't you, if you had to? But I think you've just got to try and win this next game, and then you're done, aren't you? Don't take anything, don't take any risks qualifying. You want to get out of the group. We want to finish top. So unless it's a bad injury and he physically can't start, I think I'll be surprised if he's not starting the game.
That's where he's had most of his trouble, isn't it? His ankle. That's given him the grief over the years. The majority of his injuries is through his ankle. So, look at their medics. They know, don't they? They know how to manage him. Kane will know how to manage it as well.
They'll give him a lighter load in training, won't they? And the rehab and making sure he's okay and managing it. It's ultimately 6 games, isn't it? So we've had 1 already. If we get through the second one and win it, rest him in the 3rd if you have to. He won't want to rest because he wants to score goals. He wants to be the top boot, the golden boot, which he's already behind the 8 ball now, isn't he? So he won't want to not play. So I don't see him not playing unless he's injured. So
yeah, definitely. So what have you made of some of the Villa players then, Ryan? How do you think they've done in their first round of games?
Well, Martinez didn't really... He had no chance to do with that second goal. Jesus Christ, that was the Thunderbolt one. What a goal. And the way he took it down, and he was lightning, wasn't he? Zipping in and out there, bloody Argentinian defenders, a top corner. Cash, obviously, clean sheet, had a solid debut, didn't he? World Cup debut. And then, I haven't seen the game tonight. Then Donker started, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, centre half.
Mainly looking for it back.
Yeah, so if anybody has missed any Villa action, head over to our website. Liam is covering every single Villa game. Well, every single game where there's a Villa player. So, head over.
Cool. Right. Short, sharp, sweet little episode from us this evening. We will have a match reaction after the England game as well. So stay tuned for that. Thanks everyone that's been watching our content over the World Cup period. Obviously, it's not Villa, is it? But I think the content's going down really well as well. So in the comment section, then what do we think the score's going to be before we go? I'm going to go with a 2-1 England victory. Justin, what are you going for? Now, what I will say, Justin's predictions this World Cup have been top quality. He's getting a lot of them right. So What are you going for, Justin?
And I did predict Japan as the dark horses as well. I'm going to go for 4-1 England.
Really? That's
big.
Still in the goals, and it just in
I
that.
just think we if he's, like I say, if he's as brave as he was in the last game, the two centre halves for America, they would, if I was the manager, they would worry the shit out of me because they're just not that good. And then with our attacking threats starting and with the ones that will inevitably come off the bench as well, I just see continued goals for us.
Yeah, we've not had a USA victory in the chat either, so it's sort of 3-1 looks the strong one so far. We've had a 4-1 here now. Ryan, what are you going for? Well, Justin, what did you go for? Sorry,
4-1.
4-1. Right, I'm going with. No, you go. What did I go? Have I done mine yet?
3-1.
You said.
I went 2-1.
3-1. You said.
Now I'm going 2-1.
2-1.
I'm going 2-1. Ryan, what are you going for?
You know, you reeled off all them results against USA. We haven't beaten them competitively in a World Cup. We drew one and lost one. So I'm going to go for 2-0. 2-0. Have we got any Americans in the comments? Have we got anyone?
No, I don't think we have.
Because a message to you, any Americans watching, it's football, not soccer. That cheering. It's called soccer. Oh my God. They crack me up with some of their chants, the Americans do. But yeah, it's football. It's football. And
Lee's saying you look like Shearer, Justin.
No, I've got a very similar goal scoring record to him, to be fair.
To be fair, clinical. I played in the same team as Justin. Absolutely clinical.
Battering ram, and a battering ram.
Yeah, it's class. Right, so we'll leave it there then. Thanks everybody who's tuned in and it's been enjoying our content. Like I said, we'll be back Friday evening for our reaction. Up the England.
Up the England.
Up the England.